6:30. Roll call, Jesse,
Present.
Jim, Ron,
Present.
Jeremy,
Here.
Dave,
Here.
Daryl,
Here.
Jess,
Here.
Jeff. Approval of the May 4th, 2026 minutes. I need a motion for that, please.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for the May 4th meeting.
Second,
Second.
roll call, Jerry,
Yes. Approve.
Ron,
Yes.
Yes. Dave,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Okay. Presentation, is Chris Tebby here?
Yep.
Okay, Chris, you're up. The village engineer.
Okay. It's my understanding there's some questions about zoning map, how it occurred, how the zoning is where we currently are. Okay. Chris Tebby, village engineer. Okay. So, it's my understanding people want to know a little bit background to the zoning, overall zoning for the village, and going from there into specifically for the Dresbach property. So I'd actually taken originally back in the first zoning map that I looked at was 97 zoning map. Had a lot of errors, pretty much done by hand. Back in 2007, well, we'll go back for Dresbach property. The property was annexed in 2001 into the village. It was Evans' property at that time. Okay, Dan Evans' family brought it in. It was annexed after it was annexed. It was rezoned. Okay, rezoning changed from RE, which it comes in automatically to a limited industrial and general business mixture. Okay. The breakdown was 152 acres and 43 acres. Later, they were in 2006. They were looking at ways of diversifying that, and so they took the 152 acres and broke it down into SR and R5. Okay, in 2006. In 2016, the village had gone through, and that was for a specific project. They were looking at a specific project, which was a mix of suburban residential and condominium residential units in the back. That project fell through. Evans sold the property to Dresbach. And then in 2016, we needed to update the zoning map. So we updated the zoning map for the village. Actually pulled every single ordinance, every recorded document for every property, because there have been errors over years. Okay. I mean, for the entire village. And we actually produced one that actually had little asterisks on it, on ones that needed corrected. Okay. Just ones where ordinances had errors, it's like typographical errors and stuff like that. Because as they're zoned, every property that's been zoned came in as a block, except for this one, which was they were trying to figure out how they were going to develop it multiple times. This was the only one that was split zoned. So the old map you saw had like a diagonal breakdown of it. And anyways, after 2016 and with the 2017 ordinance, they actually that was actually removed. Okay, the 2017 had multiple properties labeled with an asterisk found to have inadequate zoning paperwork. To correct it, the village council then started a review of the entire entire zoning code. Because some of these things didn't make sense. Some of them just didn't. So what happened was in the 2017 was adopted by ordinance 2017-02, the existing map that actually shows that as limited industrial. The zoning code was updated, and we went through actually a fairly long, lengthy process. And ordinance 2418 adopted the new zoning code. Okay, and modernized it from the existing code, which at that point was 25 years old or older. Parts of it were actually older than that. So that ended up going from that map, which is behind Jesse, to the one that you see online now, because limited industrial still exists, but some of the other zoning overlays and stuff were actually simplified. So per your current code that was adopted in 2024, you now have this map, which is online and stuff. It's versus the 2017 map, which is behind you. The one with the split zoning was a 2006, 2007 map. Okay. So this is the most up-to-date, corrected zoning map for the village based on current zoning code. Okay. That map behind Jesse was per the code at 2017. So I know there was some question about like a missing 18 acres or whatever on that property. It was a typographical error on the exhibit, on the map is where that missing acreage is. So it's basically a typographical error from 2 maps ago. Okay. What actually legally is binding is the zoning code and the map, the approved map, adopted maps, which is that one. And in 2017, that was replaced by this one in 2024. So this got rid of that weirdness that property always had, that split. Like I said, it's the only parcel in the entire village that was ever split that way. And it really was because Evans wanted to find a way to develop it. And if anybody else was around at that time, that's exactly what it was for. Is Evans was trying to market it like half a dozen different ways. I probably talked to half a dozen different development groups looking at how they wanted to develop that. But eventually Evans divested themselves of it, and then Dresbeck ended up with it.
So how many acres are you talking there on the corrected version?
It is 100. I'm going to say 152 plus the 43, 190. 195, 368 was the entire amount that was the entire parcel that was annexed in. So it's the 195, 368.
Okay.
So Chris, you said that 2017-02, that was the zoning ordinance for that parcel, or that was the
entire
updated
village,
zoning code?
the entire village, the entire zoning code.
Okay.
We took the old incorrect ones, actually pulled every council meeting minute, every ordinance, everything that was recorded, and tried to compile and correct it.
Okay.
Okay.
Just curious, wasn't there a 2024 ordinance approving the?
2027 was 2017 was that map. 2028 was the new zoning code, which included this map.
2024, you mean?
2024, sorry, 2024.
Yeah.
It's a long day. 2024 is this
Okay.
map.
So 2017 essentially unified that parcel under
Yes.
one zoning code.
Yes, in fact, basically what happened was everything west became LI except for Miller, basically Miller Avenue and Abbey Court, just because that's a transitional. It's a hodgepodge. Normally when zoning like that, we get commercial into multifamily, into senior housing, but that was the best fit for that area. Because it varies so much, but that's basically a transitional, basically from a limited industrial to multifamily to single family is the typical neighborhood breakdown. So 2017 basically cleaned that up.
So then would it be fair to say then that, okay, just summarizing, so 2017 unified the zoning for that parcel under one zoning code. 2024 simplified the overall village zoning
The
code.
entire zoning code changed.
Right.
And
So
then,
yeah. And for the sake of the Dressback property, then the zoning code for that 195.368 the source of truth for that is that 2024 ordinance. That's what the zoning is.
Yes, and the
Okay.
2017 prior to that covered it
Sure.
also.
But the most recent would be 2024.
Most recent
That's-
is supersedes everything else. Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And that's kind of the research that I had done too, Chris, was that it seemed that essentially the 2017-24 language just kind of wiped out all the older erroneous old stuff and just kind of overrid it. And that's the code.
In 2017, there was, I think, about 54 properties that had issues that we had to dig down and figure out exactly whether what the exact zoning of it was, what the exact ordinance was. Some of them were. It wasn't easy. It was not an easy task, but it was the first time we'd actually taken a deep dive and tried to back up all the map before it was approved, and said, okay, what's every ordinance? Went through the books in the back there, pulled up the meeting minutes and everything about what they were zoned, just so we could actually correct everything, make sure everything matches correctly. That was in 2017, and like I said, in 2024 with the new zoning code, it just simplified it. We got rid of a couple zoning code types, but it sort of simplified it, but actually gave us more control over it than the old code. The old code wasn't real as descriptive as the new code is. I mean, if you look at it, it's got diagrams. It shows you what to do in different situations, where fences go, where they don't go. All this granular information that didn't exist in the old code.
And for clarity, I'm sure all those changes had to go through the appropriate zoning changes, right?
Yeah.
So public hearings and everything that was required.
The adoption of the map and for 2017 all went through the zoning process and presented zoning, and then 2024 we had meetings for a year and a half.
Okay.
And then meetings with zoning, and zoning voted on it and
Okay.
adopted that map.
Good.
But that process that took place in 2024 that was adopted, that's when it updated the use terms for limited industrial, right, to include data centers?
Yes. Yeah. Before it would have still been allowed. It wasn't disallowed
Okay,
either. So it wasn't defined
okay.
one way or the other in the old code. Because in 2017, it really wasn't a thing that people were talking about.
Sure.
Yep.
Our old iPhones and stuff didn't evidently need as much to back them up.
Council have any other questions?
I don't
No, thank you for the explanation.
Yep.
That
Okay.
definitely helps.
Okay, yeah, I know there's some. It was literally a CAD typographical error. I mean, it's just from like 2 maps ago. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like I said, I've gone through this process twice since then, in 2017 and then again in 2024 to confirm it.
Was that error, just curious, and was that just what was posted online, or was that error in the zoning code?
It was an error just on the mapping.
Okay.
It's on the mapping. They gave the wrong number, so when they did it, they're like, yeah, well, the numbers aren't right. So you literally draw that property, you can see it's 195 acres.
So literally just a typo, essentially.
It was a typo.
Yeah.
It was literally a CAD. It was literally a CAD typo. Like I said, 2 maps ago. And don't split zone a property. Just telling you. Okay, don't take a parcel and split it. Okay, I was against it when they did it, but Evans had a plan of what they wanted to do. They wanted general business up front. They were going to have multifamily and stuff in the back.
It's kind of like a planned unit development, PUD, right? Or
Well, now it would be. PUDs weren't a thing when Evans was
that's what it would
involved.
be now if it was.
Yeah,
a thing,
it would have been a PUD.
Okay.
Yeah, you do it as a PUD now. But when Evans was looking at it, they were trying different ways to make it work, and finally they just sold it and walked away from it just because it just didn't make sense to them. But yeah, that's why they did the split zoning that way. Don't do it again. I mean, parcels are. There's a tremendous amount of work that went into this map, the 2024, and that went into that, and changing that again it just doesn't make sense to take parcels and start divvying them up like that. If you're going to do it, do a PUD. You can do mixed use, you can do stuff, but do not change the zoning and say this, so much percent can be this and so much area can be this, because it's too nebulous.
Mhm.
And that's why, sort of why PUDs came into play, and everybody uses PUDs now because you define it. Okay, so they can come in whatever, Bates property on 752, you can define what you want. So they could have commercial on 316, and they could have multifamily, and they could have single family residential. They can do a mix, one zoning, but it's a PUD. And then those granular details are approved through the zoning process. Okay, as opposed to, I mean, I like PUDs because it gives the villages and municipalities a little more control about exactly what that development looks like than just straight zoning.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people can make straight zoning. You're like, well, great, you meet zoning, we have nothing to say about it, and you can present a box. Whereas with a PUD, you can say, I want this kind of look, I want fences, I want bike paths, I want all these different additional assets and features. So, yeah, it's just, when it originally came in, that was not a thing. PUDs were not a thing here. It didn't come into your code until much later. So,
Okay.
okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chris.
it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have any department updates?
Well, I think we've got some water plants started right after the 4th of July.
Mhm.
We'll start coming on site. Set out and good enough, and we're gonna hold off till after that so we can start. So
Okay.
the roads and everything on the infrastructure project are looking good. They're getting smooth. We're grinding out some hollow spots and butt bumps. Trying to get things smoothed out for the 4th of July festivities to start.
Bert, are we in pretty good shape about getting our contractors paid?
Yes.
Timely?
We had one slip through the AF 8. Yeah. Kind of slipped through the cracks, but yes, other than that, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Gotten a bit better than that.
Everything looks good.
Yeah. There was, who's sorry? There was, miscommunication. I don't know if it was on where it came from, or Chris usually approves the pay apps and sends them in. Something didn't get done, and I think I took care of it this morning, so that was one for about 5 weeks ago.
Okay. Don't see a legislative information. Is there any old business council wants to bring up?
No, not getting excited about anything.
Okay.
We're gonna do this in a regular meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
New business? Okay. Mr. Moorhart, do you want to address council here now or later? It's up.
Later, it's fine.
Okay, at the council meeting. Okay. All right.
You wanna be on camera, Jimmy?
I don't want to break it.
Okay. If there's no other business, then a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn committee of the whole.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we'll adjourn at